All right, look at this. Haven't had one of these in a while. This one is a Magnavox ZV427MG9A. And the customer sent this one in saying that the display just flashes. So I'm going to position my phone, which I'm using just to record this. I'll move it back a little bit, and hopefully I can lock the focus in right there. We'll power this thing on. Move this over just a little bit. And sure enough, it is just flashing. You can see the clock display over here flashes on and off, as well as both the DVD and VCR lights just flash continuously. Well, first thing I suspect, main filter cap failure, 4700 microfarad, 6.3 volt capacitor failure. Let's go ahead and get this thing open and take a look at it. Okay, well, I've got it opened up right here. And sure enough, just exactly what I suspected. I wonder if I can zoom in on this. Let's go ahead and try. May or may not focus. There it is. Kind of hard to see, but yes, the top of that capacitor definitely is bulged. Let's try to get a different angle here. And there you can certainly see the top of that cap is definitely puffed up. So first thing, let's just go ahead and change that capacitor, and I'll go ahead and do a quick ESR check on the rest of the caps on this board and see what they check like. Okay, so to get the power supply board out, it's just a matter of removing the 4 screws that hold the power supply board down. I'm not going to pull the cradle out unless I have to take the complete main board out of the unit. So just lift up on this cable. And then there the board is completely out. Okay, here we go. ESR check. Let's go ahead and zero the leads. All right, 0.0. We'll start with the main AC input filter cap. First, I'll check the pad. I get nothing. And the cap itself, 0.16, 0.17. That's perfectly fine. This is the snubber cap. We'll check the pad. Nothing. And the cap, 2.8. That's a 10 at 16. Now on to the culprit, 4700 at 6.3. So on the pad, I have nothing. And the capacitor checks 1 ohm. That's bad. I should get about 0.2 or 0.3 ohms. This is a 10 at 50. We'll look at the pad. I get 0.85 ohms. That one may not be completely unsoldered. And it is. So the capacitor itself checks 0.82 ohms. It must have been just a little solder bridge on there because now I get nothing on the pad. But once again, 0.82 ohms, perfectly fine with that. A 1000 at 16, nothing on the pad. And 0.06, perfectly fine with that. A 470, nothing on the pad, and 0.13 ohms, very good. This one is a 470, if I can get my lead on there. Nothing on the pad, and the capacitor is 0.16, very good. Another 470, nothing on the pad, and 0.14 ohms. This one is a 22 microfarad, nothing on the pad, and 0.13 ohms, perfectly fine. Now we got a couple of 3300s right here. Nothing on the pad, and 0.0304, perfectly happy with that. And another one, 0.04, and once again, nothing on the pad. Now these are 220s at 6.3. The pad, nothing. The capacitor, 0.9. I'm okay with 0.9. And I do get 1 ohm on the pad on that one. It's probably actually still attached. Yep, nothing on the pad now, and 1 ohm on the capacitor. You know, 1 ohm's just a little bit high in my book, so I think I'm going to go ahead and replace both of these 0.9 and 1, as well as this main filter capacitor 4700 at 6.3. Well, let's grab a couple 220s at 6.3 and a 4700 at 6.3, and we'll test them before installing them. So here is a brand new 4700 at 6.3. I believe this one's a Matsushita. Might be a Nichicon. It doesn't have actually a brand name on it, but it's a good high quality 105 temperature cap. And I get 0.02, much better than 1 ohm. And then these are a couple of 220s at 6.3. And I see 0.44 on that one. And 0.44 on that one. Half the value of the original. So let's go ahead and slap those in. Okay, all the caps have been changed. The board's been cleaned. Let's go ahead and pop it in and see what happens. Okay, there they are. New caps mounted. Let's go ahead and drop the DVD board back into the unit. Get the connectors plugged in. I'll put the screws back in and we'll power this thing on. Okay, here we go. Power on. And I get nothing. Oh, I gotta plug the plug in. Take two. After I plugged in the power supply. Okay, here we go. All back together. DVD drive is installed and connected. Power on. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully we'll get some dashes and they'll stay on solid. And they do. Let's hit the power button over here off camera. And I do get a single LED that indicates it's in the DVD mode. And you might be able to hear it. It's trying to load a disc. And it's in line 2. I'll switch it over to the VHS mode, and you saw it changed in the display right here to VCR. So all that's working perfectly. Well, let's go ahead and try to pop a tape into it and see if it wants to play. It may need the mode select switch serviced, I'm not sure. The customers told me this thing has very low hours, and it does look like it, especially if you look down here at the pinch roller. Let me turn some light on there. Thing is spotless. Absolutely spotless. Looking over here at the video cylinder, I see no residue on this thing at all. I mean, it is pristine inside. Little tiny bit of dust on the fan, but that might be just from a couple of months of use, basically. Other than that, spotless. Well, let's go ahead and pop a tape and a DVD into it and see what happens. Okay, it's in the VCR mode. We'll just start with the VHS tape and see if it loads the tape. Now what should happen, it should take the tape, set it down, it should pause momentarily, and then the cylinder should start to run. If the cylinder runs immediately, that means the mode select switch needs to be serviced. Perfect. And it should start to autoplay because the tab is knocked out of this tape. And we'll see if it's going to play more than 7 or 10 seconds, which tells me the optical real rotation detector is actually working. And I'm going to say that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and stop it. And we'll see if it wants to rewind. Excellent. See if it's going to fast forward. Excellent. Will it give the tape back without eating it? That's the next question. All right, working perfect. Let's try the DVD next. I'll switch it to the DVD mode and we'll ask it to go ahead and open the drawer. Go ahead and pop a disc into it. So far so good. I don't have a monitor connected yet, but what I'm going to do is if it successfully loads this disc, is I'm going to put a VHS tape in it and a blank DVD-R and do a record test. All right, so I have a blank DVD -R right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the drive. We'll let it load up and see what happens. Awesome, and it read the table of contents. It knows it is a blank DVD-R. So next I'm going to go ahead and go into the menu and set up all the parameters. And I'll just fast forward through all this stuff so you don't have to deal with it. And I do have a tape that is 2 hours long, specifically 1 hour and 52 minutes and 4 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that tape into it. This is a tape I recorded back in, looks like July and August of 1988. So I'm going to stop it, rewind it. Hopefully the video capture is still recording. Sometimes it gets discombobulated when it sees video signals start and stop. And next I'm going to go ahead and hit the dubbing button, and it should begin copying the tape from VHS over to DVD.
There's a green R.
Oh,
now how do I stop it?
press the button. That's 30 feet. Will you signal on?
Yeah, watching Steve pull out. This is so exciting.
And there it is recording, and we'll go ahead and check back in about 2 hours and see if we've made some progress. Okay, so the tape has finished recording. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop on the VHS player. And it's telling me it's going to write to disk. So we'll wait for that to finish up. And it has finished. So I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And then we're going to go into setup. And then down to disk edit. And finalize disk. Yes. So this might take a moment. I'm going to speed this up. Okay, very good. It did finish finalizing the disk. So next, I'm going to go ahead and stop the disk. Stop. I'm going to eject the disk. And then I will close it again. Make sure it reads the table of contents. Then we'll ask it to play. Okay, well, it read the table of contents successfully. Let's go ahead and hit play. We'll go ahead and skip through a few chapters here.
Press the button. That's 30 feet. Will you signal on?
Make sure it's going to play just fine. That looks absolutely perfect. Once again, videos I made back in July and August of 1988. Back when I had one of my first camcorders. They still look as good as VHS can look. Anyhow, certainly hope you enjoyed the repair. Simple repair on this Magnavox DVD VCR combo, the ZV427MG9A. Yes, that is me right there. Back when I was like 22 years old.
Get on it.
Anyhow, working absolutely perfect. Just needed capacitor replacement. Like I said, this thing is in pristine shape. Even the mode select is in great shape. Anyhow, we're going to ship back to my customer, and hopefully he'll be very happy with this thing. I certainly hope you enjoyed the repair on the Magnavox ZV427MG9A. Go ahead and leave me a question, a comment, a concern down below, good or bad. I try to respond to the comments when I have time. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button and like this video. It really does help my channel grow. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at NorCal715. you can email me norcal715videos@gmail.com. That is the best way to contact me. Please be patient. I have a full-time job and I do these repairs in my spare time. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. That was my ham setup back in 1988. I still have most of that equipment. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.